Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks very much for joining me again for another video. This is a Friday Sews video, so as always a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen Sewing Room for setting up this fabulous hashtag. So if you are new to my channel, you're very welcome, and if you are a regular viewer or subscriber, then welcome back. And I have hit 6,000 subscribers over here on YouTube, so I am so delighted. It ticked over there last week and I was just so happy. It's not about the numbers, but when you see it go into a roundy number, it does give you a bit of the warm and fuzzies that people enjoy the content that I put out on here, that people enjoy listening to me rabbiting on week after week about my passion, which is sewing. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. I really do appreciate it, and I just love making these videos, and it makes me very happy that people enjoy watching them as well. So thank you so much. It's just great. So thank you very much. I would also like to say a huge thank you to everybody who's watched any of my previous videos, especially the one I put out last week, which was all about the Stitch Festival. I got some lovely feedback on that. Thank you so much. It's from people who were there and saying as well how much they loved it, from people who weren't able to go, who were suffering, I think, from severe FOMO, and I think there's going to be a number of flights booked internationally next year because people are going to be flocking to that festival after seeing how wonderful it was. It was just wonderful, and thank you again to everybody who came up to say hello. If you didn't come up to say hello, I'll be there again next year for sure, so be sure to come up and say hello. And also just a thank you to all my lovely fellow sewing vloggers and Instagrammers for putting out their lovely videos so I could relive the weekend over and over again. It's just been magic, and the friends I made over the weekend has just been wonderful, and thank you so much. And if you're on the fence about going to these festivals, please do. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet like-minded people, to see some lovely fabric, and just have a generally lovely time. So yes, highly recommend it. So first of all, I'd like to apologise. I do have a bit of a cold that I got since coming back from the Stitch Festival. I've been a little bit under the weather for the past 2 weeks. It's easing off now, but not feeling great, and I think you can kind of still hear it in my voice. So I'm feeling terribly sorry for myself. I'm still down here in our sitting room, and the work is continuing upstairs. So our bedroom is almost finished getting all the work done in it, but my sewing room is still out of commission. We need an electrician because I definitely need more sockets, because if you think of sewing machine, overlocker, iron, then in there, because I also work in there, I've got my laptop, then my monitor, then a printer. So I don't think it's regulation of that many sockets, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm waiting on an electrician, and then as soon as he's able to do whatever he needs to do, then it can get painted and I can get new furniture and I can move back into my lovely sewing room, because I do miss it. And I haven't really been doing any sewing this week, and I really miss it. Mostly in the evenings, my husband says, "What are you doing tonight?" And I look at him and say, "Well, obviously sewing." But not this week. I've been cleaning, I've been tidying, I've been hoovering, because the dust that plastering walls makes is unbelievable. So I really do miss sewing. So despite me not sewing this week, I do have an awful lot to talk to you about. But I'll get to that after I stop rambling about the works in our house. So yeah, they're almost done, and then I'm very excited to get cracking on doing up my lovely sewing room and getting back in action, because I have some lovely April plans that I want to talk to you about at the end of this video. Right, well, we get back on track. So last week was Easter, which was lovely. So we just had it here as a family. So we had the Easter bunny and the boys loved that. Then we have had lots and lots of chocolate, and I'm now addicted to, you know, the After Eights, the little kind of dark chocolate squares with the mint filling. You can get After Eight mini eggs, and they are just gorgeous. Oh, they're so nice. So I've basically been eating them for the whole week. We've also been potty training here in the French Seams household. We've also been trying to take stabilizers off bikes. So it's been a very busy week outside of sewing. We wore our lovely bunny jumpers. So I'll pop in a picture here. I just love those jumpers so much. And my boy is still wearing that to creche. My older boy has worn it, I think, 3 days to creche this week. He absolutely loves it. And I said, "Would you want to put this away for Easter next year?" He said, No. Can we keep it out, please? I like wearing it. So win. And they looked adorable in it. And I love matching with my little boys. I should mention what I'm wearing, actually. This is an oldie but a goodie. I think I made this, it must have been about 2017. I bought this fabric. It's an Atelier Brunette fabric that I bought in the Knitting and Stitching Festival in Dublin. I think it was 2017. And it is the Cocowawa Crafts chestnut sweater. I absolutely love it. So it's just a little sweater, and then at the back it's got a beautiful little bow. So yeah, I love this, and it's I'm not going to say it's getting warmer. It's absolutely not, but I think I would just want to dress for the weather I want, not the weather we have. So while I'm inside, I'm going to wear a lovely little jumper, but I do love this, and I think this fabric is beautiful. It's my only Atelier Brunette fabric. I splurged back in the day. So what else did we do? We went to the zoo. I did an awful lot of Easter baking. And then last week on my weekly shop in Lidl, you know I love Lidl, I managed to pick up a cutting mat, which is really handy. So I put this out on my Instagram stories. I think this is about €5 or €6, which is great. I've been using it already. It's really, really handy. And then also I found these. So these are Pritt Stick, glue stick. So I am team PDF as always, and I print and stick them together, and it's just not fun. But these make it a lot more fun. So I put out on Instagram saying, oh, they've got Pritt Stick on sale in Lidl. And 3 of these I think were something like €2.99, whereas one of these in my local shop is about €3-4. So I bought them, and I was like, oh, these are kind of fun colours. That's a bit of fun. Took them home. They're actually the colour. So this one is a really cool blue colour, and then this one is purple, and then this one is red glitter, which I didn't realise until I got home. So look at this. So this is going to make sticking together PDF patterns much easier. So yeah, I just thought they're a bit of fun. And while you're doing a weekly shop, if you can pick up stuff for your sewing, then win, win, win. What else have I been doing? I've been doing my Quilt Easy Go block from the lovely Izzy, Dizzy Quilts and Sews. And this week was, it's called the Friendship Star, which I thought was really, really pretty. So I made this up, I think on, was it Sunday or Monday I got to it. And I was able to use the fabric that the lovely Anne, who gave us our bunny fabric. So she gave this other little bunny fabric, which I thought was very appropriate for Easter. And then this beautiful floral one. So I thought it was very appropriate on a Friendship Star to use fabric that was gifted by a very, very lovely lady. And then on the back it's Mulan, because you know. So this one is lovely. The piecing was quite straightforward. It was just half square triangles. That was fine. Check me out. But then the real effect came with free motion embroidery all the way along here, which I actually really enjoy doing and I'd like to get better at doing. I bought a free motion embroidery foot on Amazon there a little while ago, and it seems to work out really, really well. However, I have now learned a very, very valuable lesson. So I had matching thread, which I thought looked perfect, but it was one of those really cheap threads, and it literally kept snapping about every inch, and it was driving me up the walls. So I kept persevering because I think it looks really nice, and then towards the end I just slightly lost the will. So I switched to grey Gutterman thread because it was the only one I had that was vaguely this colour, and it did this whole section perfectly. So you can kind of see that's a different colour, but never mind. Lesson learned. This is all about learning, isn't it? So lesson learned, if you're doing free motion embroidery, you have to have good quality thread. So yeah, lesson learned, but I think it's really, really cool, and it'll go very nicely with my 3 other Quilt Easy Go blocks. So as always, I'll link Izzy's series down below. This is now block 4. She puts out a block every 3 weeks, and I love this series. I really do. I'm learning so much from it. I also got a few things on Amazon. So I had an Amazon voucher from ages ago, and so I finally decided to use up a little bit of it. So I got quilting pins, which are the little kind of bendy ones, because I've now put the backing on my quilt. I'll see if I can find it later for you. It's underneath my pile of stuff here, but I was able to, I laid it all out. I've got my topper, then I've got my batting, and then I've got my backing fabric. So that's all sandwiched together, ready for my last patchwork class on Monday. So really looking forward to seeing how that goes. I might try a little bit of free motion embroidery if I'm feeling fancy. I also got new pins because all of my pins are getting blunt and just getting lost and bent and everything because I'm using them all the time. So these are nice flat-headed ones. And then I also replenished my stash of clips because I think I was down to about 3. I keep dropping them. I keep rolling over them on my wheelie chair. I keep standing on them. So I treated myself to 2 boxes of colourful sewing clips. So very, very handy. So not the most exciting Amazon purchase, but stuff that I'll really, really use. I also got some Happy Post this week, and I got it from Love Fabrics Ireland. They have a wonderful website. I'll link them down below. And I got beautiful navy French terry, and this is brushed back French terry. So it's lovely. It's a beautiful dark rich navy colour, absolutely beautiful. And then I got ribbing to go with it. And this is for a top secret collab, which is coming later this month, which I'm super excited about. So I won't talk any more about that, but that was just lovely, and the delivery was super quick on this. Really, really great. So that's basically my week. So I haven't really been doing any sewing or anything, but I've been kind of milling around doing other bits and pieces. One thing I did want to mention actually is a word on continuous zips. So a few people after my Friday sales last week asked me about these continuous zips that I bought at the Stitch Festival, and even while I was at the Stitch Festival people were asking about the continuous zips that I bought. So I bought these from Purple Stitches, so it's a little pack, I think it's a metre of a continuous zip and you get one little zip pull, and then I also bought an extra pack of the beautiful little zip pulls with stars and everything, and they're really cool. And a few people asked me about them, and not to be too dramatic, but I basically said they'll change your life. So a few people asked about how I use them, so I thought I'd do a quick 2-minute rundown on how I use them. So basically, I'll show you my Adam Sews pouch that I made for the Stitch Festival, and here are the zips that I used. So basically, with continuous zips, and what I did with these ones was I bought this huge one from Amazon, so I don't even know how many meters on this, and it comes with a bag of zip pulls. So for ages on bags I was using dress zips and they never looked nice, and then I suddenly discovered these more kind of chunky zips and they look really, really funky, and you can get gorgeous zip pulls as well. So it means that you never have to have in your stash a zip the exact size you want it, and it also means that when you're doing your zip, when you're attaching your fabric to your zip, you don't have to contest with this little guy here, that you don't have to kind of maneuver your zip foot around him. You can just sew straight and then you attach the zip pull after. So what you do basically is you pull out your zip however long you want it, and you do not use your fabric scissors, you use some other scissors, and you basically measure off, just say you want this much, you basically just cut it, and they cut very, very easily, because while they look like plastic, while they look like metal, they're actually plastic, so you can cut super, super easily, and then they just come apart. And then that means that you can attach one side to this piece of fabric and then the other side to that, and then you can make them a little bit longer than you need, and that means that you're not finagling around this guy here. And then once you're finished and you want to attach them, all you do is get a little zip, and I'll show you on this one, see if I can do this in real life. Here's your little zip pull, and it's got two little ends. So it's got the end with the full gap here, and then it's got the end with the bar in the middle, and I use the end with the bar in the middle. And you get your zip, which is now attached to your bag or your item. It's been pulled apart already. And then basically, I'm going to try and do this backwards. So here you go, you take the bit of the little bar and you feed that into one side of the zip. So that's now attached here. And then you take your other side and put it into the other side of the zip. And then you kind of wrangle them together a little bit, and you should be able to zip them together. Never work with children, animals, or zips, isn't that right? There we go. And now you're attached. And now you can chop off the ends that you don't need. And it's much, much easier than having zips the actual size you need them. So just buy these in bulk, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. So just thought to give you a little brief overview on that, because I find them really, really handy, and I think they look really smart on bags like this. Now, moving on, the next thing I want to talk about is my plans. So I had recently been doing, over the past few months, years, more kind of seasonal plans. So I did say my autumn makes, my Christmas makes, and then I did my winter spring makes. But that's now meant that I haven't been doing plans videos. So I think I now have like my winter spring makes video to put out. And I think I've made about 30 things. So don't get me wrong, that ranges from a coin purse to a Zog costume. So they're not huge things all the time, but it means that I am going to put out a makes video, but I'm going to seriously cut it down because I don't think you want to hear about every single thing. So what I'm going to do now, and because my sewing room is a little bit out of action, I'm going to just do a few April plans and see how I get on. I'm not going to put myself under too much pressure. So the things I would like to get done are, oh, actually, while I've got space here, here's my quilt. So you can now see that I've got the little pins in it. Here we go. And this is my backing fabric. I've got my wadding here, and here's my quilt. So, and there's my pins. So wish me luck on Monday. So yeah, that freed up a bit of space. Right, so what are my plans? So my plans, first of all, are the cuddle cardigan. So I'll pop in a picture here, and the fabulous Sarah from Sew Sarah Style kindly gifted me this beautiful fabric. So it's kind of a minty green French terry, a loop back French terry with matching ribbing. So I'm going to do that cuddle cardigan. I cut out the pattern last night. So that's one little plan I'd love to get done, because that's a very kind of spring colour. I think it'd look really, really cool. The next thing I want to get done is, and I went deep into my stash now, people, all 3 items in my stash. I had a good look through it. And I found this fabric that I bought last summer, and it's a very, very light jersey very, very light jersey, but it's kind of got this kind of ombre kind of border effect to it. I think it's really cool. I never really knew what to do with it. I bought it because it's a £5 a metre and I thought it was kind of pretty colours. I did have notions of making a kilo wrap dress out of it, but it is way too see-through. So I was watching the fabulous, wonderful, sparkly Sam, my lovely, lovely friend Sam, and she from So Let's Sparkle with Sam, and she put out her So Frugal video, and she did it all about robes, which I thought was a genius interpretation. And she had a free pattern from Mood Fabrics, and it was for a robe. I think it's called the Fleur robe, and I think this would look really cool as a robe, because I don't have a kind of a summer weight robe. I have a big huge fleecy one that I wear during the winter, but I have no real one for the summer. So I think this would make a really cool robe. And I did message Sam, I was like, would this work in jersey? So she said yes, so I think I'll give that a go. So again, I've printed out the pattern and I'm going to see if I can squeeze out a fleur robe out of this, because I think it would look really cool, because if you are wrapping the front, it might show both the blue and the white, so I think that might look quite effective and quite nice. And I do have quite a bit of this fabric as well, so that's another little plan. The next one I have to get started, and this is Frocktails dress. So I have my muslin fabric here. I've got the pattern cut out, so I have to get this started, because Frocktails is now the 11th of May. If anybody didn't know, I'll link the channels down below. The Frocktails is in Galway this year. So here's my muslin fabric. I've got the pattern printed out, and if you haven't seen or would like a little reminder, this is my fabric. Beautiful green with green sequins, and this is going to be the Mary dress from Passion Society. So I have to, if I don't get anything else done this week, I have to at least get a toile done of the bodice and see where the waist seam sits and see how long it is and all that kind of stuff. And I also want to see, can I line the bodice? It comes with a facing. So I'm going to see, can I line the bodice? So that is a must. But also then, because I got this beautiful ribbing this week, I bought a little bit extra because I don't think I need too much for my top secret project. So I am going to try and make the high cuff top. And thank you to everybody who messaged me after last week's video asking should I do the ribbing in pink or navy, and the majority of you came back to say navy, and I think that looks really nice. Ooh, it matches my nails perfectly. So I'm going to see if I can get the high cuff sweater started, because I think that's a really, really nice pattern, and I think it would look perfect with this ribbing as well. So what else? I've still got my pogo nip cut out. I would love to get that done. I really, really would. Then also my last plan for April, which again, I really, really, really want to get done, is for So April Blouse 24. So that is hosted by Gabrielle from The Cloth Edit and by Ruan from the Yorkshire Sogo. I'll link both their channels below and link to the challenge as well. I'll pop in a picture here. I can't wait to get involved in this, and I have a plan. I have the fabric that I showed from Stitch Festival. I have my pattern printed out as well, so I'm hoping to get that started as well, and I might even put out a cheeky little video on that as well. So that is another little April plan. So what am I looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and what are we looking at? Yeah, first week in April. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I shall leave it there for now. Thank you as always for joining me. I love chatting with you. If you would like to leave me a comment in the box below, I'd really, really love it. If you have any questions on anything I've bought, anything I've made, anything I'm planning to make, let me know what you're making. And I think I will leave it there. I hope you're all well. I hope you all get time for some lovely, lovely sewing. I hope you have a lovely weekend. We're due a storm in Ireland, which is lovely. So hopefully that won't cause too much damage. But I will hopefully catch you all again very, very soon in another video. Take care, everyone. Bye.